Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, sir. May I introduce myself? My name is Jannatul Naima, and number student is 2503050033. And now, today I'm going to present my analysis of a contemporary English text. My presentation will focus on identifying various paragraph, organizations, patterns, and linguistic devices used in a high-stakes geopolitical news report. Okay, for the first slide is a text selection and source. The text I choose is a new report from the official iNews YouTube channel, and the title is Iran attacks Israel linked cargo ships. And I selected this specific text because it contains a very clear logical structure, which makes it an excellent for analyzing complex and reading patterns such as listing, sequence, and cause effect. Okay, so next the slides is a listing. Iran demonstrated its diverse military capabilities. First, they seized Israel linked cargo ships. Second, they showcased the Khorramshahr for ballistic missile. Furthermore, they displayed the Fateh 100 hypersonic missiles. In the slide, we can see a listing pattern. I identified this because the author lists multiple military assets using signal words like first and furthermore. Next, the interception process. Initially, naval units detect vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Next, personnel board the ships for inspection. Finally, the vessels are moved to Iranian waters for further legal processing. In this slide, this paragraph uses sequence. It describes a chronological process of how the IRGC saves a ship from detection to legal processing. While the United States announced a unilateral ceasefire extension, Iran showed reluctance to join the talks. On one hand, the US uses a blockade for pager. On the other hand, Iran demands the end of the blockade as a condition. As you can see in slide 5, here, the author uses a comparison and contrast pattern to explain the diplomatic tension. On one hand, the US is trying to be flexible by extending the ceasefire. On the other hand, Iran remains firm with their demands. I identified this pattern through signal words like while and in contrast, which highlight the gap between in the two nations' strategies. Next, in this slide, the United States maintains a strict military and economic blockade. Consequently, Iran has suffered significant industrial damage and high economic pressure, leading to intense wired military presence in the strait. So, I want to explain about the cause and effect. This is cause and effect. The blockade is the cause and the economic damage is the effect. The word consequently in the signal word. Next, in cohesion and contextual meaning. In cohesion, reference is refers to the Father 100 missiles. And in conjunction of the cohesion, however, used to show contrast. In contextual, is meaning first is blockade, military restriction of sea routes. Second, leverage, strategies, advantage in negotiation. First, for grammatical cohesion, I found the word it if we look closely, and this pronoun refers back to if we back to the Fatah 100 misal. Ensuring the sentences flows without effects and ensuring the sentences flows without repetition nouns. Second, regarding contextual meaning is I analyze the word locate, and in general dictionary it might mean any barrier, but in the context of this text, it specifically like refers to a military restriction of sea roads in the Strait of Hormuz. I want to explain about the facts versus opinion and reflection in this material. So, in fact, the Fatah 100 missile has a speed of three times the speed of sound. This is a specification that can be verified. However, the statement about the visual message is an opinion or interpretation by the reporter. For this opinion is Iran's military parade is a visual message of threat to its enemies. And for the reflection, this analyzes ancient critical reading and helps in it identifying logical structures in complex news. I've learned that by identifying signal words and organizations patterns, we can understand complex international issues more deeply and accurately. That's all for my representations. I'm sorry if I made any mistakes. And for the closing, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, sir.